Welcome to Be a Better Techie. Now, in continuation with the previous annotations, that is at the rate auto-wide and at the rate qualifier, there are few things are pending. We'll complete that in this session. Okay. And yes, where are we? We are at the qualifier level. Okay. I'm going with the same example. Okay, of course I added some piece of code that I'll discuss later part. Now we are at the guitar level, and at the guitar level we are having setter injection, right? Means if we are having same type of beans, multiple beans are present in the IOC container, means in this case I am having multiple tuners with different values. So here the ambiguity will come. To get rid of that ambiguity, we need to go with the qualifier with the value. Means qualifier and value, whatever value we are providing at the IOC container, right? Where is this? This is not required, just I added. This is the qualifier I given. Now in the previous session what I am trying to convey means, suppose if I don't have any qualifier, assume, and at the IOC container level assume I am having two types, two beans of same type. Okay, assume this is also not present. Yeah, now here I am having two beans of same type tuner. Now when I try to do auto wire by using at the rate auto wire annotation, then let me run this example once. The ambiguity raised because two types are there. Now assume here whatever type is there, right, tuner type, if I am having the bean ID as same name, instead of tuner 1 assume this is tuner. Here the bean ID and my injection name is matching now. Now let me run this one. If you see, now I am getting the manual tuner. I am conveying this one. Even if two types are there, if any of the bean name, any of the bean ID is matching with my this type, then the ambiguity won't arise. That is one thing. And we are aware the rate auto wire is by default mandatory, right? Yeah. And one more thing, yes, the qualifier at the arbitrary level, or I need to add one more thing. Yeah, at the setter level anyway, auto wire and qualifier we completed. This is fine. Now assume I'm having two beans, okay? So anyway we'll get the ambiguity. provide the value as digital tuner. Sorry, I need to make this one. This is the digital tuner we need to provide. Okay, this is the value. Assume here also we are having qualifier, but this is manual tuner. So whichever I need, I can inject at a runtime. Okay. Yes. Now we are getting the manual tuner. This is fine. Now let me navigate to the same thing at the arbitrary level. Okay. I mean arbitrary method level. Now here also I am having auto-where. Let me first comment this part. Means here we are trying multiple combinations. Okay, multiple probabilities we are checking. At what level what we need to provide that information. Anyway, ambiguity came. So to get rid of ambiguity, we need to provide the qualifier. Okay, this is arbitrary. Yeah, now we are getting the manual tuner. Now we completed the @auto-wire and @qualifier at the setter and arbitrary level, and we'll try at the constructor level. Okay. Now in case of constructor, the qualifier annotation is not applicable at the constructor level. We need to provide that at the parameter level. Parameter means arguments. Here we are having constructor arguments, right? That level. Let me show what warning we will get. If you see qualifier, right? The annotation qualifier is disallowed for this location. And if you go to the documentation, right, there is no constructor. Previously, in case of @auto-wire, we are having constructor as well, right? Now if you see here, we don't have constructor. This is field, method, parameter, and the type, and it will support some other places as well. These are the some of the target, and even this annotation also at a runtime only. The default will be empty. Now I'll close this one. Yeah, so here we don't have option. We need to provide at the parameter level. Now let me execute this one, but here I didn't provided any of the qualifier name, so ambiguity is there. So we need to provide the qualifier value. Which object we need, that object we need to provide value. Now here manual tuner I am injecting. Sorry, go to the test class and there try to execute this class. Yes, now we are getting the manual tuner. This is how we need to apply the @qualifier in case of constructor at the parameter argument level. Okay. Now will try at the arbitrary. I'm not sure what output will get. I think it will be applicable here as well. Now this is arbitrary, attribute level. We provided the auto-wire and the qualifier annotations. Let me run this use case once. Yes. Now my guitar is playing with the manual tuner. Now 4 levels we completed. Okay, coming to another point. Now we completed the auto-wire candidate false and the qualifier with multiple permutations and combinations. Right. Now why setter and constructor level auto-wire is supporting? See, if already we are having arbitrary attribute level, then the other levels, what is the necessity means, assume if we are having any pre-processing logic. Okay, see, in case of the attribute injection, if we use means, we can't do any activities after completion of bean creation and all. So because of that reason, they provided the constructor and the setter level auto wire. Means at the time of creating guitar object, we may perform different logic as well, along with the mandatory injection. And even and another one, why they provided the auto wiring at the user defined method, like set volume control is there, right? Why means at a runtime, if any case comes like we need to initialize our volume controls, then we can change by injecting the different types of tuners. So we will get that provision at a runtime. So if same thing we are giving at the constructor level, again new object will be created, but we may lose our existing guitar. So at runtime we can modify the instantiation of or the configuration value of guitar based on the conditions. For this purpose we are having at the rate auto-wired annotations at different levels. Okay, then assume if I am having multiple constructors, then at a runtime we are not sure whether those dependencies will be available or not, but we need the guitar object. To achieve this condition, what we need to do, we need to declare the different argument constructor, and we need to make that auto wire as false. So if we make auto wire as false, then if the beans available, then only it will inject. If the beans not available, then it won't inject. We will get the empty object. Like how means, assume we'll go for the constructor auto wire, right? Where it is, yes, this is the place. Here, sorry, this is next one. Yeah, this is my guitar. Okay, here my guitar, I am injecting the tuner. Assume here I made auto wire, by default it is true. Required is equal to false I made. In this case, what is happening when I run this test class, right? If you see, after creating constructor call, I am injecting the tuner type, means manual tuner. At the time of injecting, if my tuner object is present, then it will inject. Assume here my tuner objects are not ready in this case. Now what we will get, we'll see. No qualifying bean of type tuner available, expected at least one bean. Dependency annotation, qualifier manual. Okay. Sorry, let me remove the qualifier here itself. Because if I don't have beans itself, no need qualifier, right? No qualifier, bean tuner available at least in tuner, dependency annotation. Okay, required is equal to false, we made it. Okay, why this one's also not required. Let me comment this part at the attribute level and try to execute this one. No qualifier, dependency annotation. Yeah, as we don't have the default constructor, right? So let me create the default constructor. I'll go with the superclass constructor because we need at least the object creation, right? Leave about the injection part. We need the just object creation. Default constructor, we need just constructor call. We'll see how it will works. Yeah, if you see here, right, it's a just a constructor called, default constructor is called, and I am getting the guitar playing with empty, tuners are null. Why? Because here I made the required as false. So if specific beans present with this type, then only it will inject. Assume if it is not there, then it won't inject. Now comes to the IOC container and try to comment this part. And comment this bean. Now we'll try to execute the test class once. Yes. If you see, I am not suggested, means I am not even injecting. Just if my tuner bean is available in the IOC container, then my guitar is ready. Okay. Suppose my guitar having one more dependent object, that is position markers. Position markers are nothing but for holding the guitar head, we need positions like left, right, middle and top, bottom, like that different positions available. Assume I am having one position markers. Okay, this is the position markers. Here it contains just position. Okay, position is a private string and I am doing this as a setter injection, and I am having one default constructor, means zero argument constructor, and just I am printing the values here. I declared this particular pojo as a bean in my IOC container configuration file, where here. Now what we are going to see means how can we make constructor as optional, right? if I am having multiple constructors with multiple parameters. Okay, then based on the beans availability, the respective constructor will be called. We'll see that in this part. Now I made this position markers and the value as 2 points, that is left and right we are providing. And in my guitar I am having one more constructor with the position markers, and this is one of the private attribute. Let me declare at the top level, and this is my another guitar, and here also I am trying to do auto wiring. Okay, if I go with true, right, then this is mandatory, means must and should this position markers should be present, but we may not guarantee that the dependence beans are ready, or we may not get at the runtime, so we will make even this also false. Now we are having two constructors with different type of parameters, and the respective beans also present in the IOC configuration file. Now let me execute our test class. Now position makers constructor fine, and set position makers constructor call is going on. Guitar playing with tuner. Now this is my IOC container. Yeah, this is my IOC configuration file. Okay, here I am providing the position markers bean, okay, and the tuner as well. And in my test class, sorry, in my dependence class I provided both values as false, means nothing is mandatory, not, both of this constructor, but at runtime whichever bean is available, that particular constructor will be called and it will be injected, but we can't guarantee which one is picking and all. Okay, suppose here I am having auto wire false, and here also I am having auto wire false. That is the reason we are getting only the position markers as value and the tuner as null. Assume at runtime there is no position markers bean is available. Then what it will do, by taking the tuner itself we will get the guitar. If you see the position markers, right, and if at runtime assume I am having positions marker, I don't have any tuner, assume, even in this case as well, yeah, in this case as well I will get my guitar without any disturbance by injecting the positions marker. Yeah, if you see, tuner will be null, and whatever the position markers, right, two points, that is left and right, we are getting. These are the different combinations of @auto wire and the @qualifier. So with this I am closing this one. If anything, then we can make it as a different discussion. Okay, thank you.